This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new Canadian artist to introduce you to. Her name is Madeline Merlo, and we have her on the phone, and we are so pleased to be chatting with you, Madeline. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Are you all ready for Christmas?
I am. I'm like shopping early, have it wrapped under the tree kind of thing. Don't really like big crowds, like being in them, so I avoid them all. It's like the plague.
Excellent, but you're all set to go. Well, that's good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about your firstly, I mean, there's tons to talk about with Madeline Merlo, but I want to talk about your holiday single, Jolly Old Redneck, and where the story and the idea for that song kind of came about.
Yeah, well, in July, actually, my label was like, we want you to write a Christmas song and just to have one kind of thing. And so I tried really hard to write a serious Christmas song, and it was just so kind of lame and like cliche. And I was just like not enjoying myself at all. I was like, I can't think of anything good and whatever. So my co-writer and I, Dan Swinnemer, we just started talking it through, and we were like, well, Santa, he works so hard, and what would he, he only probably has one day off, which would be Christmas Day.
Right.
Because the 26th, he'd have to start working on next year's presents, and we're like, what would Santa want to do? And we looked at each other, we're like, oh my gosh, like Santa would want to have a drink for sure. And then it just escalated very quickly, and then Santa was a redneck, and we just like had a blast with it, and recorded it, and kind of had this bluesy, almost like Michael Bublé track to it, and the label loved it, and then Christmas rolled around, and we were like, okay, we're doing it.
Excellent. Well,
yeah.
Again, it is a really fun song, a really cool story, and the sound is awesome as well. Your voice is beautiful. So fans, you be sure to check that out at MadelineMerlo.com. But there's also lots of other stuff there that fans can check out. So let's talk a little bit about your 5-song EP, self-titled 5-song EP. First single off of that, everyone is probably pretty familiar with by now, Sinking Like a Stone. Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Sinking Like a Stone was one of the first songs I heard and started working on with my producer like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so the song's really old, and we went through a million other songs to choose for the first single, and my heart just kept going back to it. It really resonated with me, and I felt like it would resonate with people as well. And it's kind of a bold move to come out of the gate with like a ballad. That's really like not what people do, but I just felt like the sound and like having such a strong message, and just the way the whole track was put together, I felt like it represented me and the type of music I wanted to make, and I fought really hard to make it the first one. So
excellent. Well, and what about now your second single, Alive? I know you're a co-writer on the song, which is awesome. What made you choose that one as the next one to release, other than the holiday tune?
Yeah, this one's like kind of the opposite. We were planning on something else, and then my producer and I, we just wrote it, and we sent it to the label, and they were freaking out, and they really liked it, and I felt like it was a little autobiographical, talked about the first time I went to Nashville, and it's just filled with things that I need to be reminded of every day, and I think everyone needs to like take a moment to just appreciate that they're like, I'm alive, and I'm so lucky, and that was a huge thing for me, and I really listened to that song, to get me pumped up and stuff, and then we needed something positive, and then all of a sudden that was the next single. So it's kind of an opposite story for the two of them. One was really old, and one was brand new, and we took a chance on that.
Well, that's great, and I mean, both songs are wonderful, and fans are just eating it up for sure. Let's take us back kind of to the beginning of when you decided that you wanted to make this a career.
Well, I started singing when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
In my kindergarten talent show. My dad was a singer as well my whole life, so music was always a big thing in my home, and we always had instruments and band members running around. So when I was 6, I really wanted to perform, and I honestly didn't stop after that. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I remember vividly falling in love with the craft at 6 years old, and my mother was so great, and she took me to every talent show and commercial and audition for anything that would have me. So just anything to get my creative energy out. So
very cool.
Yeah, I worked really hard as a kid, just trying to, be noticed and stuff. And at 17, the ball slowly started to roll. So
excellent. Well, good for you, and that's a really cool story that it kind of started from such a young age. That's great.
Yeah.
Quick question. This is kind of a fan type question. What are the 3 songs that are completely stuck in your head right now?
Right now, okay. Well, Sam Hunt, I'm like obsessed with. And
who isn't?
Like, I know. I was saying to someone, I was like, I haven't been this like had like a crush on someone since Twilight came out when I was like 14. Like
amazing.
Actually, like, I love. Pardon me?
Oh, I just said that's amazing.
I know, like, I'm so in love with him, so his entire album, but I really like Take Your Time. I'm obsessed also with the new Taylor Swift album as well. She's so great, and so there's a few tracks on that. I really like Bad Blood on that album.
Yeah.
And Bruno Mars, his new song, Uptown Funk, like, there's nothing that gets me dancing more than that song.
That's great. So the songs stuck in your head are pretty eclectic in terms of genre.
Oh, yeah, like, I'm all over the place. I grew up listening to, like, kind of like old soul music and old country music, so I've always had like a few different things going on, and my iPod is filled with like everything from Queen and the Beatles to like rap music to like country music to pop music, so it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Well, all of those kind of fuel together and influence your music. And again, fans, if you want to check out Madeline's music, please go to MadelineMerlo.com. There's links there to her EP, and also you can check out her new holiday single, Jolly Old Redneck. Now, Madeline, if fans want to connect with you directly, is there a way that they can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a 20-year-old girl, so I'm on every social media there is. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. And my handle for everything and my website is just Madeline Merlo. So just my name, so nothing too crazy.
Excellent. Well, Madeline, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Really appreciate it. And have a great Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you too. Merry Christmas.